Okay then, first ever drive in the new car. Let's see if it actually holds together. Why is it so slippery at the rear? Okay, well, we had 0 power, so let's hope that's a gearing issue. I was being obliterated on the straights, even when I was in the tow, and 0 rear grip, absolutely no rear grip whatsoever. Okay, perfect. Right, that's the first practice session done, and oh my goodness were we slow. I think it's a combination of things. I'm pretty sure my revs were way too low. We're going to change the sprocket right now. I'm also massively changing the tyre pressures on the rear. Very loose. Front end felt beautiful, but it's like the rear tyres never warmed up, and so I think maybe our pressures were just a bit too low. So we're going to do gearing, pressures, and then send it again like that and see what it does. And you're about to find out whether it made it any better. That is the end of the practice day. We actually had to skip the final session there because it was pouring with rain and we were in the middle of doing a bunch of work to the car. But it was a good day. A much more positive practice day than I've had in the first couple of rounds this year in 100 UK. The car feels great. There's a few little tweaks we can make to make it even better, but it just feels nice. I turn the wheel and it turns, which is so refreshing. It's so nice. You can see I'm smiling. And tomorrow we get to race it. And I'm really looking forward to trying to come through the pack, make some moves and race my way to the front of the heat. So I'm in races 1, 2 and 3 of the 5 heats. So I'm back to back to back. Let's hope nothing goes wrong with the car or gets broken in those first heats. Let's hope nothing goes wrong with the car or gets broken in those first heats. And then I'll be on to the final. For today though, that's it. We're now going to tidy the awning and chill out for the evening. Thanks for watching so far. It's on to race day.
Is this like a creepy thing?
You're going to win today, Alex? Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about your plans for the first race? It's sunny. Watch Alex order something really healthy, exactly appropriate for someone who's over the weight limit. So Alex, can we defeat Jacob Sharrock and Matthew Glazeborough? No, I didn't say can you. Can we? Can one of us? No. Okay, you're probably right. It is physically possible that they forget to come to the track today.
Did car could break down? Yeah, puncture.
They could take each other out.
Spain 2016.
Spain 2016, and then one of the other people who's faster than me would then inherit the lead, but then we'd be closer.
Yeah, Phil, who wasn't here yesterday, still can be rapid.
Yeah.
Ethan Hall's been rapid.
My brother Paul, if he has a sensible head in the races and doesn't overstretch, doesn't try too hard, if he just executes the pace that he actually has, he could do well. The way our cars are set up, it isn't you have to outbrake people. In fact, it's the opposite. It is get really close to them on the braking, nail the exit and draw alongside them to see you at the track.
It's GXUK round 3, but for me it's round 1. And I'm at the front of the grid here. There's some pretty rapid people. We've got the junior champion, Ronnie Townsend. Ronnie Pickering! The O-Plate champion here, Anwar Barul Smith. But we've also got someone who I'm not used to racing, Lewis Jones here. My brother Paul, who's been quick all weekend. Jacob looking like he's going to come through. There are big names throughout the front here. And Tim will be annoyed I didn't mention him among them, but I'm sure he's going to feature too. Yeah, this is a stacked front end, so our only hope really is to get round turn 1. What you won't have seen is between warm-up and the first race, I've been frantically trying to repair a problem with my car, and that is a broken chain. Somehow I had a snapped chain link that hung on for the end of practice. Now I've replaced the chain, but I had a horrible tight spot that I couldn't get rid of in the time between warm-up and the first race, and that means I'm having to run the chain much looser than I normally would would, because I don't want to have one extremely tight section to the chain. The reason I'm telling you that is there's a danger of the chain falling off. I just don't want it to fall off. Now we're on the left side of the grid, not ideal. Turn one's going to be interesting. It's a long right-hander that you can get freight trained on, and I've experienced it here before. If you want your freight train t-shirt, check out the Brad Philpot merch store, where there's a t-shirt for every karting occasion. We're just waiting for the F300 race to finish, then we're going to get cracking. Here we go then, let's hope this chain hangs on. I think Lewis Jones is very, very keen on coming down the inside at turn 1. I'll be very lucky to come out of turn 1 any better off than 4th place, if I'm honest. We're going to get absolutely freight trained. Ronnie's really, really keen to get going. And as we got underway, it was immediately obvious to me that I didn't have the grunt I was expecting from my engine. Well, I've got no top speed. I've got absolutely no top speed. I expected to lose positions in the first corner itself, but it was the acceleration of the karts to my right that was concerning. Good job, Paul. Well done, Paul. For now though, all that I could do was get my head down and try and finish as high as possible. And because this was such an interesting race, I'm going to leave you to enjoy it without me talking over the top of it. Go on, Paul. Obviously Jacob's through. That was always going to happen. Let's go with Jacob. I got no power. No power. We're getting SPM on for the next one. I got nothing on the exits. I've got absolutely nothing on the exits. We need an engine change. Need to catch these guys back up. was a bit opportunistic on the last lap, but we did not have the power on the exits. Okay, well the chain stayed on, so that's good. That's good fun though. Good fun, pulled it really well. We are in the danger zone. This is probably the furthest back I've ever started on a GX grid because they never used to be this big. So what you just missed in between the first race and the second race is us changing engine, and that's because, as you will have seen, I wasn't really quick enough on some of the exits. And having this engine here that was my race engine last year that I knew was good, and Alex tried it yesterday and he went 7/10 quicker than on his engine, it made me think, well, from the back here, this is the time to try this. We've got less to lose from back here. So I'm going to give them a try. Might be no different, might be worse. The gearing was a kind of a guess because this engine tends to like a smaller rear sprocket than others. This is going to be a bit of a voyage of discovery if I'm completely honest, but let's see. We certainly weren't going to be quick enough with the other setup. Now the reason you didn't see anything is because there's so many GXUK drivers that we are stacked back to back in heats. So in each round of heats with all the other classes, normally you do one race, but I'm doing two, which means about 40 minutes maximum between races. So I had to get this engine on very, very quickly. It was a bit of a rush. All right then, this is going to be difficult. It's hard to overtake at this track because if you try and get a good exit, someone will try and overtake you on the entry. By opening up a corner, bam, the next car's through. So, and I don't really know how these guys back here race. Let's hope this gearing's okay. Okay then, heat 2. I'm going to keep this one a little bit more punchy. I'm going to show you the action and all the key things that happen. It's another exciting one starting all the way at the back here. So lots of overtaking to do, and I'm going to try and talk you through it. We want inside, really. We want inside. Yep, we want the inside, but that does mean the outside for the following corner, that next chicane. So it's going to be tricky to find a space through here, and we're going to rely on everybody being safe and clean going side by side into here. So yeah, that was fine. We didn't really gain anything there, but we did avoid any kind of carnage. So we're now going to try and make some places in the next few corners, and that does mean, once again, being on the inside. We managed to just squeeze through here past one car, but Alex Van Geen's coming back at us around the outside, so let's try and follow him. I'm going to choose him. Alex,
I choose you!
Let's try and move forward together, and he's trying to make a gap there between Tom Butler and Oliver Smith. That feels good though. So I now need to pass Tom Butler, and he's very clean. He gives me the space on the inside. Good boy, Butler. And next up, I need to find a way past Alex Van Geen. But how am I going to do that? Well, in an unorthodox way, because he actually breaks down now. I believe he had a blocked jet, so that made his engine cut out. Oh. Alex, just stop. Something broke on Van Geen. He's out. So that means next up we've got Simon Dean, Racing Dean on YouTube, go check him out. And we're going to try this move here where we disadvantage the car on the outside that then turns into the inside for the final corner, and we're then able to get the better run onto the start-finish straight. It's then onto Ben White, and this is just a simple slipstream pass on the main straight. And we've then got this gaggle of karts coming up next, so we've got a little bit of a fight on our hands here. Starting off with Nick Barnes, so down the inside at the second hairpin, giving him room on the exit. Trying not to squeeze him off the side there. And then next up it's Tyler Nicholson. So where are we going to get Tyler? Again, looks like it's just a slipstream pass on the main straight and then out braking into the first chicane. We've now got a little bit of a gap to the next group, so we're going to have to close them down. Still time to move forward here. And the reason I know that is because I glanced to my right to check the timer, and there are about 2 minutes to go. So now down the inside of Sam Hooper into the first hairpin, using a lot of curb on the inside just to make sure I'm giving him maximum room possible. And my next two targets are Harley Smith and Dan Howard. So with Harley, it's going to be inside of the exit of the hairpin, which then turns into the outside of the first part of the dogleg section by just squeezed past. And now I need to close number 71, Dan, back down again to try and get in a position to overtake him. And where are we going to do that? It's going to be under braking into hairpin 1, so a nice clean move because Dan gives me just enough room and I managed to slip through once again. And look at that, a couple of minutes to go, 13 places made up. This race is going really well, right? Chain off. Chain off. That was such a good race. Chain off over the curb, or maybe broken. Oh, first time ever. That's less than ideal. And then, with basically no time between the races once again, it was on to my third heat. Alright, we need a very strong finish here, otherwise we are in the B final. It turned out the reason my chain came off was that short time period between the races led to us really rushing the engine change, and I didn't have time to properly align the chain. So for this race, let's keep this edit even more punchy than the last one. I'm going to show just overtakes in action. That's more like it. Nice to get the best finish of the season in any class. I think we're comfortably over the weight limit. We got way too much fuel in, if I'm honest. It should be about 63.5. I overfueled because we were in a rush. And as you can hear from my comments entering the pit lane, what happened next really took me by surprise. I came in half a kilogram underweight and was disqualified from the race. Okay, well you saw that all play out for yourselves. That was another really, really good race until it wasn't. And at least that time I got to finish the race. Just chasing down Jacob, it was like old times. And you heard me say on the way back down the pit lane, I think I've overfueled here. We're gonna be well over the weight limit. Only to be absolutely staggered to come in under the weight limit for the first time ever. I'm just gonna show you just how much fuel we've got in that should put us over the weight limit, considering in the first race, I came in on the weight limit with this much fuel in down here. In that second race, I've got at least an extra kilogram of fuel in here, and I've somehow come in underweight. So I'm quite bemused by that and quite annoyed because I went super safe with the fuel. Anyway, there we go. That's the first 3 races. 4th, DNF, DSQ. I'll catch you in the final. We're actually starting dead last of the people who qualified for the A final. So P26. The finals have been shortened because of an accident that happened in an earlier race. So only 7 minutes long, and I need to get from 26 to as high as possible. This is going to be a tricky one. Let's go. Okay everyone, here we are then, back at the A final. At least we made it into the A final, but I have to say, that is not the position that we deserve to be in terms of pace this weekend. So I'm looking longingly towards the front of the grid because the guys that I want to be racing are Jacob, Anwar, Russell, Matthew, Glazebrook, everyone up that end. But let's start off by trying to get around this man, Alex Van Gien, who tends to become a rolling roadblock whenever I'm behind him. Special mention to this man here, my brother Paul Handley, who's put it up in 6th on the A final grid, actually with the same points as 4th, only missing out on fastest lap. So Paul's having an absolutely stellar weekend and loving every moment. For us, we just need to see how far we can get. Let's just see how many positions. We're not getting a podium today. But I've had a great weekend. I've had so much fun hanging with these guys again. It's been mega. Look at this grid. In fact, let's go to the front. It looks so much better from this end. Good luck, Russell. Russell ND in P2. Okay. Look how cool this grid looks. Mega, and we're all the way back here. Let's try and turn this around for Rowra. We've got something special coming up for Rowra, the next round. It's in 2 months' time though, so there's a bit of a wait before we get to the next race, so I'm going to have to keep you entertained with different content. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please remember to like and subscribe. Plenty more karting content coming up this year. We've got the BIKC qualifiers soon. We've got the British 24-hour kart race. We've got more GXUK. We've got the Daytona National Championship Round 2 coming up from Tamworth shortly. We've got the Kart Race of Champions video, which will be released in July, and much, much more. But for now, it's the GXUK final, Round 3 at Fulbeck. God, these things are fun to drive. Oh, so fun to have grip. It's so fun to have a massive, close grid of modern karts for an affordable price. And it's even better when you're doing all that with your friends. One of those friends is right in front of me right now, but I hope not for very long. We're about to find out. And it's go. We're away, we're on the right hand queue. Being loaded from behind. There's a spinner, there's a spinner, there's two spinners. We managed to just get through that. Alex was too close to it. Okay, let's hope the kart's alright. Okay, we did well to avoid that. No. Oh, it's carnage down the back of the field here. Absolute carnage. Total carnage back here. At least we're through with a working car. Tyres are very, very close to the track there. Someone's moved the tyre barrier back on. Amwar's leading, Jacob Sharrock right behind. I've got a bit of understeer, not sure if it's cold tyres or a bent front end. We did take some contact there. Next up, the number 23, this is a novice. We're quite a lot quicker. We're going to need to choose our moment. He's going to look to the inside of Simon. I'm going to go with him. Okay, we're going on the exit. Next up, Simon Fuller. Started alongside us on the grid. He's had a much better first lap than us. Managed to avoid the carnage better. Simon, historically relatively difficult to pass. Let's see what he does. Oh, and he's defending. He's defending straight away. We've got a gap and we're through. Next up, it's Racing Dean, Simon Dean. And we're through on Simon. Whew, here we go. We're going to have to make a lot more of these passes if we want to get anywhere near the front. Need a tow from number 57 here. Oh, it's looking a bit sketchy here. We've got a yellow, we've got a yellow. I'm not going through there. There we go, we're back in position. Back in position, didn't want to have to go through that chicane. And we're through. Next. Yes, obviously the reason we cut the chicane there is I did not want to go through a block track. Someone else could have hit that and spun. Looks like Jacob Sharrock's now clear of Amwar in the lead. The tyres fixed, looks like it. Where are we going to go? Inside. Rain on the visor. It's raining. It's raining. Oh, they're all defending. This is a bit of a bottleneck here. We're getting very, very held up. Let's try inside. inside here. We're through. Next up, still spitting with rain. Let's see what happens here. Up the inside of Harvey. We're coming through. We're about to have very, very clear track. Oh. Okay, let's back off. It's raining more heavily here. We've got the inside here. We've got the inside. Good defending. Good defending. And we're through. Very, very slippery. It's rained a little bit up here. Yeah, it's been raining here. Track's getting wet. How wet is it? A little bit slippery. Let's see if we can catch this next pack. How long is left in the race? One more lap after this. Oh, it's going to be a big ask to catch the next pack. It's going to be slippery here. How slippery? Very, very, very slippery. 2 people off. Slippery surface into the chicane. Very, very slippery. We're not really gaining. We have gained on the leaders. Sharrock's been off. Sharrock's lost the lead. One more lap. Last lap. Who can keep it on? Who can keep it on? Nobody's got any grip. Oh, what a finish! That was fun. What a race! Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. That was mega. What fun that was. Right guys, thanks so much for following this journey. Thank you to Used OTK for providing this absolutely epic chassis, which has been brilliant all weekend. Like, honestly, it's handled so well. Thanks to JB Kart Racing for all the cool 3D printed parts. KKC Kart Shop provided me with so much kit, including this epic Alfano, which is just always my favourite tool to use all weekend. Search for KKC Kart Shop if you would like to buy your kit as well. And finally, thanks to all you guys for following along and joining me for this ride. That was really good fun. Right, let's get cleaned up. Well, there we go, that was the final. I can't remember being so pleased and content after a day where I had a DNF, a DSQ and a P14 in the final. But I'm really happy. It was great fun. I had a really awesome weekend, spending time with my friends, eating some nice food, driving a go-kart that actually turned when I told it to turn. That was really good. Somehow avoided any serious wet weather in a GX race again, even though it did spit with rain a little bit. And everything's in one piece. The car is a little bit scraped because I took the chassis protectors off to try and use a bit more curb, but I learned quite a lot. The car handles brilliantly. Feel like we've got pace to carry on for the rest of the season and be competitive, and I'm really looking forward to the next round. Thanks for watching me play with go-karts. And now we've got to pack everything up. This is the bit that takes a little while. We've got a lot of things to put back in a lot of boxes, so I'm going to crack on with that right now. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you at Rowra. Love you, bye.